Marching band has been a part of my life for a long time. I did a professional marching band called Drum Corps, and then this is my 12th year being the band director at King's. So it's been a part of my life for, this will be my 20th year.
For as long as I can remember, I wanted to be a marching drummer. I am ashamed to say, or proud to say, I used to march around the backyard with a drum and practice for when I would be in the band.
Over the course of those 4 years that I was in there, I really started enjoying teaching and falling in love with teaching and being able to share what I love so much with young people, and give them that same experience.
This is actually my 36th season at King's. I've been in the classroom. I'm in my 30th year in the classroom, but my 36th season with the percussion section here at King's High School. Finished high school, I was going to be finished with band, and I was going to go into what was then called RTF, radio, TV, and film. And I realized I was not quite finished playing yet. I wanted to be a player, so I was in teacher denial for a long time. And then finally, after being in school for way too many years, I got a degree in music education and have not looked back.
What I enjoy most about teaching students is the relationships that I get to build with them. Many times I get to teach students for 6 years, and I get to see them grow up and develop, not just musically, but character-wise, and I get to be a part of that.
I like that there's a teamwork aspect to all of this. I like that I learned through them. That they struggled with this, so I think about my own journey with that and how would I do that, and I've become a better player just from teaching all these years.
King's High School Marching Band, you may take the field in exhibition.
The way that we decide what the music is going to be is based around the show theme. Sometimes what happens is, we pick the show theme and then we pick the music, or we have a piece of music we really like and then we kind of pick the show theme to match that, or maybe we have a really good visual idea that we kind of morph into a full theme or whatever.
We sit down as a staff, usually in December, and one of the people on staff is a woman named Susan Bass, and she will bring in 4 or 5 different concepts and say, hey, what about this one? Hey, what about this one? What do you guys think about this? And we'll kind of flush that out. And whichever one we kind of run with the most or has the most possibilities, that's usually the winner. This year's show is entitled It's Just a Matter of Time. And it kind of relates time as we know it on a clock or a calendar to a metronome in music. And we went with an old school metronome that has a pendulum arm that swings back and forth. So there's about a 9-foot metronome out in the middle of the field.
We wanted to do that in 3 different ways. We wanted to do music that was very strict in tempo, music that was very, very free in tempo, and then music that changes and is kind of helter-skelter. The first tune with the strict tempo is called Bolero by Maurice Ravel. Classical piece. The second tune is based off of a Miles Davis recording of Cyndi Lauper's Time After Time. That's kind of mashed up with Cher's If I Could Turn Back Time.
So I never dreamed I'd ever do Cher on the marching band field, but here it is.
The last tune, that's the one with the kind of crazy tempo. We wanted to do basically a bunch of different bits that are supposed to be kind of funny and light. So the first tune we play is actually Rush E.
We played it for them, they went nuts. So that's in there, and we kind of mess around with time and speed up and slow down and do some things.
Then we play Mozart's Rondo a la Turk. We kind of morph it and meld it in different ways that kind of change the tempo. So it's a recognizable tune, but we do it in a different way that kind of explore that idea of like messing around with tempo and musical time and things like that.
We're very fortunate at King's. Both the directors write the music. So Brian McDonough writes all the wind music, and I write the percussion music. Once we decide what the pieces are going to be, we kind of decide what the format's going to be and use this section of the song but not this section, and kind of chop that down. And then he'll start and he'll send me an edition of it, and I'll say, hey, what if this was longer and this was shorter? What if we had more time for this and this, whatever? And we do that back and forth for about 2 weeks. When we used to do it all on pencil and paper, that process was not as efficient and took way longer. Now you can hear it right away with software. Brian's one of the few people that I will send my parts back to him and say, hey, what do you think? And then he can do the same thing I did. Again, I know the levels of the kids. I know what will challenge them and not bury them. And I know what the strengths of the ensemble are. So we're very fortunate with that.
I find it very gratifying whenever students come off the field and I get to see their faces, and they're usually really sweaty and, maybe red a little bit. But of course what I mean is like, the emotion on their faces and being able to see how happy and fulfilled they are and how full of joy they are. Being proud of what they created and being proud of each other, that is the most satisfying thing for me.
I'm very fortunate. I get to see my kids from grade 6 all the way through grade 12. So I get to see the kid that could barely walk in the band room without knocking something over to becoming an all-state percussionist. And I like that part a lot.
The marching band has been great for them, not just to improve their musical or movement skills, also as a great way to come together and share something with people, working together towards a common goal, getting everybody on the same page, creating, a culture that you want. There are lots of different things like that that aren't even specific to band or music that all of the students experience.
I like to think that they've learned some teamwork. I like to think that they've learned to manage some time for sure, and probably still learning to enjoy things that are hard work. Yes, this is a lot of work. Yes, this takes a lot of time, but I can have fun doing this.
I feel like the future of the Kings High School Marching Band, we're on an upward trajectory.
I've got limited time to do this. I'm going to have probably about 5 or 6 more seasons to do this. So I want to see the program continue to grow, both in ability and in number of students. And I want to be able to hand it off to whoever comes after me. I want to be able to hand that guy off in good shape. I want the kids to still have fun, still work hard, and still push themselves and push the staff.
I do think that we've got strong and mighty classes that are in, 6th and 7th and 8th grade that will stick with it, that have a lot of skill. And every single one of my 12 years, it's been elevating. And I think we have nowhere to go but up.
The Kings High School Marching Band from Kings Mills, Ohio has 68 musicians and 20 guard members. They are led by band directors Brian McDonough.